it's Frankie Boyer, and what better way to dish the Academy Awards than with world-renowned makeup artist who has been makeup artist to the stars for a very long time, such a great, wonderful man, Jerome Alexander, bringing us beauty for over 40 years. And so I have to ask you, what do you think? And by the way, his best-selling Magic Mineral Powder is just phenomenal. It heals. It does all kinds of wonderful while it conceals. What did you think about last night, Jerome?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great Academy Awards show. I try to watch it every year. As a makeup artist and a beauty authority and involved in the fashion industry, I found some very interesting trends that
tell us.
I could really relate to. Well, to begin with, I thought everyone was very subtle. I'm using the word subtle. Even Lady Gaga, which blew me away because, she always over makes up and overdoes. She looked elegant. She looked smart.
And can we just say that tribute to Sound of Music was spectacular? Who knew her voice? I mean,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I knew she had a beautiful voice, but not that voice.
Yeah, but, again, let's talk about it from the makeup point of view. She always overdoes, and it's that's a choice. Some people want to look like a school teacher, and some people, I make reference, want to look like Lady Gaga. But Lady Gaga didn't look like Lady Gaga last night. She was elegant. And, just to name a few others that were outstanding for me, I thought J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, she looked amazing. And then Oprah looked amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then the one who's my favorite, who stood out like above everyone, heads and tails above everyone, was Cate Blanchett. She just looked absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
Elegant, magnificent. I thought the clothes were all smart. The men looked great. But let's get to the makeup. The thing that was outstanding for me is something that I've been watching now for a few years, and actually it's something that I have been doing for years and years and years. I always feel more is less, less is more. I'm sorry, going back to front. Less is more. The secret to makeup is to put a lot of makeup on and not to look over made up. So the emphasis last night that I saw was on the eyes. Everyone was focused on the eyes. You saw a lot of eyeliner. You saw a lot of mascara. The eyeshadows were subtle. The eyeshadows I found were like nude, natural-looking colors. And if you noticed, everyone's lipstick was nude. No one was. I can't even recall seeing anyone's lipstick. All the lipstick shades.
Yeah, there was a young star that wore a very bright lipstick, and it really worked for her, though.
Well, I didn't notice that, but I noticed, as I'm talking about a general trend, was, really nude lipstick, lots of lip gloss, nude lipstick, and virtually no blush, very soft, subtle blush. And again, I also noticed something, and Frankie, maybe you noticed it also, there was on the face, I saw lots of shimmer, not glitter. I never liked glitter. I like shimmer. Just a slight shimmer. Talked about my Magic Minerals. My Magic Minerals which is a natural mineral powder, has a very slight shimmer to it. I think it just gives the face a beautiful, natural glow. Mm-hmm. And that was my call on the evening. I loved it. I just thought that the women were magnificent. Everyone just saw the whole show just all came together, and I think that the glamorous part of it was again back to understated. I think that was if I were to put just one little note on it, I'd say everyone I felt was exquisite and understated.
I'm so glad you mentioned blush, because I think, Jerome, this is my biggest, and I was just with a very good friend of mine in New York City. We were there for the conference for the weekend, and she went in to freshen up, and she came out of the bathroom, and I said, "What the heck did you do?" She said, "I just put a little blush on." I said, "A little?" It's my bone of contention. Why do older women want to do that? It's the worst thing in the world you can do is to put your entire cheek in blush. That's not how our face is. First of all, when you get flushed, that's not where it doesn't work that way in nature.
Exactly. I'll explain it to you. Listen to what are you calling it? You're calling it a blush. A blush, to me, is sort of like a natural kiss of the sun. When you go out in the sun, where do you get it? You get it on your forehead, your nose, your cheeks, and your chin. When I put blush on, that's how I do it. I take very, very light color, a light coral or a light pink, where there's really, you can hardly see the color. And you just put it on, and what it is, it's supposed to look like a blush. What does that mean? It means it's a highlight. It's a highlight. When you put too much blush on, you wind up looking like a clown. And that's not what blush is all about. Not to look like a clown, but to have a beautiful highlight. A light blush is a highlight, and that's the purpose of blush. Also, most women don't know where to put it. The blush, you just take your brush, go down the center of your eye. Where the center of the eye, you go on the cheekbone, right going back towards the hairline. That's where the blush should be. It shouldn't be over, it shouldn't be under, it shouldn't be in front. Just on that cheekbone from the center of the eye going back. And here is the big secret. If, in fact, you want it to even be more subtle, what you do is you take one of those little wedge sponges, a wedge sponge, and my wife always makes fun of me because she says in my sleep sometimes I say this, blend, blend, blend.
It's true. We have to blend.
Yeah, so blending is the key. If you don't blend, it doesn't have that real sort of soft, natural look. By blending, you take away whatever harshness there is. And even, to me, it should just be so faint that it's there, but it's not really there.
Yeah. So the bottom line here is less is better. And I noticed last night, no puffy lips. They're not doing the injections on the lips like they used to.
No. I never liked that, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the companies
You look like a duck.
Yeah, a lot of the companies went into
Hey, we got to run. Jerome, give us the website for all of your wonderful makeup and the work that you've been doing. Go ahead.
Jerome at JeromeAlexander.com.
Thank you so much, Jerome. Thanks for coming on and dishing with us. It was a fun night, and we will be back in just a moment. This is Frankie Boyer. Stay tuned.